We haven't drank this already?
Stuff we had lying around, also known as SWLA Wine. 1 year tasting.
Now the reason why I said we hadn't drank this already is because I'm pretty sure I have. Like all of the surplus that was on the shelf is no longer there.
That's why it says 1 year. We put one bottle away so she won't drink it all.
Yeah.
Now this came to 13% ABV and it is approximately a 1.014 final gravity. So it's a little on the sweet side and that's okay. For this kind of wine, I kind of prefer it sweet. I don't want it to be too dry. I don't remember what this had, but I remember it was just a bunch of different juices put together.
Already, without even me sticking my nose in there, I am smelling a lovely fruity bouquet.
Oh yeah, there it is. All right, so color. It's dark and red.
Super dark.
But you know, when you can get to the edges and stuff, it's actually pretty clear. Yeah, it's just very dark.
It's just really dark, which is lovely.
Oh,
see,
wow.
That's just great.
It has this
nice.
amazingly strong, fruity, dark fruits, light fruits, cherry, even a little citrus.
Plum.
Oh.
Grape.
Yeah, definitely some grape in there. Oh.
I even get like cranberry citrus.
Yeah, there's a little bit of tartness, a little bit of sweetness, some dark, complex richness. Oh, yeah, I'm tasting.
Yum.
Okay. Somebody said they like it when I take them on a trip. It got a little bit corny after a while. That's why I stopped. But I'll describe this one after I take another sip. Okay. On entrance, it's fruit with fruit and more fruit. I'm getting definitely though like strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, all the berry flavors. And like she said, plum is definitely in there. Cherry has a very strong thing going on. It's sweet, but not overly so. There's a nice tannic aspect to it, a good acidity.
It has lovely mouthfeel.
Yeah, the mouthfeel is so rich. As it goes into your mouth, the sweetness comes through a little bit more. It comes out a little bit sweeter, but still with the dark fruits and complexity coming through. And then on the finish, it's actually a relatively quick finish. I mean, medium maybe. I would have expected a much longer finish on this. But I get like a rich, almost a smokiness to it on the finish. A little bit of an astringency, which is nice, coming through at the end, cutting through that sweetness. That's probably why it doesn't have a long finish, because it cuts that sweetness. This is nice. This is really good. I like this a lot.
And I find that really interesting because this literally was just, what do we have?
Threw stuff together.
Throw it in a bucket type deal. And I think that just illustrates that as long as you have a good base knowledge of how fermentation works, how wines are created, you can make anything you want to, understanding the basics, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, this was, I believe, primary juices, and some people get really irate with us when we make a wine out of juice because they're like, oh, you're not really making wine. Well,
what do you think wine is?
If I started with actual fruit and I mushed it into oblivion, then wouldn't I basically have juice plus?
Yeah.
So we skip the middleman, sure, but that doesn't mean it's not wine.
Yeah, the whole turbo cider thing just bothers me. That term irks me because you're still making cider. It's still cider. It's no less cider, other than different kinds of apples, different kinds of fruits, different kind of juices. Yeah, that's to be expected. That's just the way it is.
But this is really lovely, and the closest other thing that we've brewed that I can compare this to that has this complexity of all the different fruit notes would be our Klingon blood wine. I'm not going to knock it over. It's precious. I have the protective layer here.
You're saying that this is nothing like the Klingon blood wine.
It's not, but the dark fruit notes, so you have to take the coffee out and you have to take the capsicum out.
See, to
but
me,
the complexity of the dark fruit notes, my brain goes.
I see where you're going. To me, this is most like the black currant, black pepper wine that we made.
Yeah, it's in the range of that. But
this is like turned up so much more in
right.
the aroma and flavor department.
Right. The fruit notes is like a cornucopia of fruit. It's not just one type of fruit, but it's not like you can't place a fruit. You can place multiple fruits, as Brian already explained.
Melded together so nicely.
Yeah.
This is, in my humble opinion, my description, perfectly balanced. It has a phenomenal sweetness level. It has just enough acidity, just enough tannin, and all the flavors play well together.
Yeah.
That is key when you make a wine.
Yeah, the base note, which would be the fruits, is so prominent and so strong and so delightful that those accents of the sweet, the tannin, and the tartness really just add to the experience of that base note, elevating it even further. And that's really what you strive to do and adding those other components.
And I think at 13%, it sits at just the right number. If it was any lower, I think the little bit of alcohol bitterness that comes through, like there's very little. If it wasn't there, it might be a little too sweet.
I agree.
And if there was more, it might not be sweet enough. It's like the Goldilocks point. I mean, it's just right there. It's so, wow.
Now, in all the times up to this date that I've been drinking our other SWLAs, I always paired it with food. And this is a great food pairing wine. It stands alone on itself, that you can enjoy it by itself, but it doesn't have...
Oh, motorcycle.
It doesn't have anything too obnoxious that doesn't work well with food.
There's nothing obnoxious here.
Right. And particularly tomato-based sauces, the fruity notes and the acidity...
I think I've actually put this in tomato-based.
Yes.
I've used this in cooking.
Are really going to bump that up and make it a more pleasurable experience, both in drinking the wine and consuming the food.
Yep. What she said. Notice I'm on taster number 3. I don't like this one at all, do I? I remember it was good. Okay, I remember when we made it, it was good. I believe the year has done wonders for this.
Yeah.
It has melded it in such a way that, you know, we say it all the time that age is an important thing. Now, there's ways around it. You can use more of a different nutrient schedule and things like that, and you can try to shorten the amount of aging needed. But I still think there's no substitute for true aging.
Yeah.
Especially a good product to begin with. If it's already kind of messed up, aging is going to make it better, but it can't make it great usually.
There's an interesting that occurs with the aging process, and Brian has said it multiple times, and that's the melding. Normally it takes out any of the harsh notes and might help elevate some of those hidden softer notes. And this particular example, I feel like it's really aided the different fruit notes to pop. So they're working well together in harmony, but you can still taste, oh, there's some cherry. Oh, there's some
apple.
Cranberry. Yeah, it's like your brain is like, oh, finding all these different fruits in there. They're working together so nicely, but it's almost like you have a fruit salad. And so this spoonful is blueberry and this spoonful is cranberry or whatever. I know I'm being silly, but that's the best analogy.
Alcoholic fruit salad.
See, it's healthy.
Yep, that makes it good for you, right?
So we need a number.
Oh, we're doing that already? We're at a number? Okay. I have a number.
I have a number 2. And it's not the number 2.
Okay. Let me describe our numbering system for you. Let's see if I can do this in under 20 seconds. Okay, so 1 means it's basically crap. You'd probably dump it. You wouldn't want to serve it to your worst enemy. 5 means it's middle of the line. It's about my breaking point for if I would drink it or not. And 10 means it's just spectacular. 11 means it's better than spectacular and probably better than anything else you've ever made. I think that was less than 20 seconds. I don't know. That was pretty good. I did it all in like one breath, I think.
Yeah.
So, do you have a number?
I do.
1, 2, 3,
10.
11.
Ooh.
That's right. This is up there. This is one of my favorite things we've made.
Now, I gave it a 10 rather than an 11 simply because
I always go higher.
there's nothing that I can think of that I would want to change about this.
Not a thing.
Not a single thing.
Other than I'd want more of it.
Right. And that's the only thing. It's like, now we got to figure out what was the random ingredients we threw.
We have measurements on all that.
I know.
Sure. We have a whole video.
Well, we got to go watch that video now and make this again.
I don't think watching a video to make this again is such a hardship to do.
That's true.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Oh, twist my arm.
Yeah, this, without a doubt, is in my top 5 of all time favorite brews. Now, what you have to understand is this is sort of my wheelhouse, but it's not exactly. I don't usually go for the truly fruity things. But this is so good that I just love it. I think it's great.
I think as a wine, It's lovely.
It almost has enough depth and complexity to be mead. Some people would drink this and knowing we make mead might say, this is a mead. They might even think it because the nectars of the fruits and everything are kind of giving a little bit of that kind of the floral, fruity thing that honey can do.
And the mouthfeel is really nice and thick.
It's so rich.
Yeah.
But it's not that cloying sweetness at all. It's not. It's not. The acidity and the tannins really take care of that, and they balance that sweetness. I mean, it's only 10-14. It's not like it's super sweet.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
And for something that we kind of halfway did as a joke, I'm like, let's make more joke brews, because who knows what we're going to come up with.
Time for more SWLA. I'd drink more of this, but we have more filming to do today, so I'm not going to drink any more of this right now. But I don't think this bottle's going to last the night. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.